Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, everybody here in attendance today. I want to call this meeting to order. It is exactly 6:07 PM. Next item that we have is roll call.
Oscar Salinas here.
Mary Hernandez present.
Nereida Cantu present.
Alex Cantu present.
Armin Garza present.
Dr. Science, I do declare a quorum. We'll start off with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We move on to item number 4, Superintendent's Report.
Thank you, Mr. Cantu. Under the Superintendent's Report, we have recognition of 2018-19 Educational Results Partnership, Texas Honor Roll Schools. Ms. Magda Villarreal, Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum Instruction, will do these awards.
Good evening, Board of Trustees, Dr. Science, and members of the audience. It is with great pleasure that this evening we honor 6 campuses for being recommended as the Texas Honor Roll Schools. The 2018-2019 Honor Roll is developed by the Educational Results Partnerships as a nonprofit organization that applies data science to help improve student outcomes and career readiness. The ERP maintains the national largest database on student achievement and utilizes this data to identify higher performing schools and districts. Schools that receive the ERP Honor Roll distinctions have demonstrated consistent high levels of student academic achievement, improvement in achievement levels over time, and a reduction in achievement gaps among student population. For high schools, the ERP Honor Roll recognition also includes measurements of college readiness. We are also very, very proud to recognize the following schools as ERP Texas Honor Roll schools by the Texas Education and Business Leaders in Texas. So we have
Can we
Chapa-
please have Mr. Cantu and Ms.
Okay.
Espi Ochoa to recognize our principals?
Thank you. We have Eloidia Chapa Elementary, and we have Ms. Laura Lopez. Next, we have John F. Kennedy Elementary, and we have Ms. Maria Guerra. We have Clinton Elementary, and we have Martin Munoz.
Congratulations.
Next, we have Tabasco Elementary, and we have Ms. Marena Contreras. Next, we have Jimmy Carter Early College High School, and we have Claudia Gomez.
Congratulations.
And next, we have Thelma R. Salinas STEM Early College High School, and we have Dr. Villarreal representing Victor Rodriguez. Thank you.
Congratulations, principals. Thank you, Mrs. Villarreal. Mr. Cantu, that concludes the superintendent's report.
Okay, we move on to item number 5, discussion items. First up, discussion of teacher attendance incentive protocol.
And for this, we'll have Dr. Anicia Trevino, Assistant Superintendent for Human Resources.
Good evening, Mr. Vice President, Mr. Cantú, members of the board, Dr. Science, and members of the community. Thank you for the opportunity to share with you a proposed teacher attendance incentive protocol. The purpose for establishing this protocol was to ensure students have their teachers in their classroom on a daily basis. In the 2018-2019 school year, we had 28,688.5 absences, an increase of 1,553.5 from the previous year. As well-trained as our substitutes may be, we know that they can never take the place of the classroom teacher. On average, we have about 150 teachers absent on a daily basis, meaning that we have at least 3,300 students without a teacher in their classroom on a daily basis due to absences. Last year, we spent over $3 million on substitute costs. And we know, all of us know, that we prefer to spend that money on something else, right? We obviously recognize that we have a problem, and we come before you with a protocol to try to address this problem. I want to draw your attention to page 3 of your packet. This protocol has had input from multiple groups. A teacher attendance protocol committee comprised of principals and campus leaders met to review data and discuss possible incentives. The District Educational Improvement Council, the DEIC members as well, were given an opportunity to review data and identify incentives they felt could make a difference. The data and opinions collected had an influence on what we're presenting this evening. The final draft was presented to the principals and campus administrators at the Leadership Academy this week as well. So, as you can see in the protocol, and I'll just go directly to the details, at the campus level, we're proposing that there be monthly incentives provided by the campuses. Examples: early release, coupons, maybe an hour early; Gene Days, teachers love Gene Days; maybe a breakfast or an extended lunch period; an extra conference planning period; maybe lunch provided by the campus; a raffle; school supplies. And those would be included in their campus calendars, and every principal, based on their budgets and their creativity, would be giving these out. So teachers would know in advance, if I'm here for these 20 days, I'm going to get an extended lunch, or I'm going to get an early release coupon. From central office, we're proposing a monthly incentive provided by central office to include a luncheon served by the superintendent and the cabinet to an elementary, to a middle school, and a high school with the highest teacher attendance rate for that month. So we'll go over and we'll be serving them lunch. 1 elementary, 1 middle, 1 high. In addition to that, we're proposing to recognize 3 campuses, 1 elementary, 1 middle, 1 high, with the highest staff attendance with a celebration by semester. So the elementary with the best attendance from August to December, the best middle school and the best high school. When they come back in January, they possibly could go to main event, or go to a movie as a group, or go bowling, to build that team effort and be recognized, and that we show our appreciation for them being at school. In addition to that, we're proposing if a teacher is present every day, excluding school business or jury duty, we want them to do their community service and attend jury duty. But if they're there every day, aside from school business and jury duty, we're not going to hold those against them, to receive a $500 stipend. Say a teacher was out on FMLA because they had a baby first semester. That doesn't exclude them from second semester. If second semester they had perfect attendance, they could also earn $500. If they had them for both semesters, an additional $500. So they would really get $1,500 if they were here every day. And so then how we would implement it and how we would roll this out, we would certainly make the announcement to the principals, and we did. We did tell them that it was pending board approval and that we were bringing it to the table this evening. We would announce it at the General Assembly so teachers know that this is coming and that we want them at work every day because they do make a difference in the lives of our kids and their academic performance. That we will be recognizing campuses with the highest staff attendance at principal meetings every month and provide them that luncheon that we talked about. And the principals also requested that they get feedback like with student attendance. They would like for Human Resources to give them a report every Monday on the week before on how other campuses are doing so they can compare how their campus is doing because they all want to go to main event, the movies, and bowling. And then certainly, we will be providing payroll, a list of the teachers by semester, so payroll can take care of the stipends, and certainly bring them to the board for recognition by semester as well, and of course, that wonderful celebration by semester. That's all I have. I'll open it up for questions, if you all have any questions.
That sounds very good. I think it's something that we need to really consider. Thank you to all your staff that's done all that work. It's principals,
Thank you.
and specialists, and administrators.
It's a team effort. I know the cabinet also participated.
Do you
in-
have a tally of the cost that it costs the district?
Well, we put it on the agenda item. We're hoping not to spend it as much, but we rather spend $100,000 on teachers than substitutes. So if we can get them
But is
in,
it like to that round off, straight 100,000?
well, that's what we're
No,
budgeting.
but what we had to pay when teachers or staff were out.
We spent, I do have that number, over 3 million this past year. So the teacher attendance incentive protocol is up for approval tonight, so we ask for your support.
Thank you, Dr. Trevino.
Thank you. Now moving on to item number 2, discussion of transportation pickup points for designated campuses.
This will be done by Mr. Raul Gonzalez, who's our Transportation Director.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the board, Dr. Science. I'll be passing out some maps so we can better understand the situation.
Thank you.
Mr. Benito Salinas worked on this, and one of the things that we did after the 12 campuses at the elementary level were designated, we started working on drafting a plan on how to serve the needs of students who want to attend a particular elementary. And before you, you have a preliminary map that is up for changes if need be. We have a total of 13 pickup points. This will encompass a total of 8 buses. The first bus will start, bus number 1 will start at Sullivan City Stripe store, and it will travel to Highway 83 and Alex Avenue Stripe store number 2. That will be the second pickup point for that bus. Once it does that, the bus will travel to whatever campus the students are attending, whether it be JFK, Tabasco, Leo, and deliver those students. That will be starting at 6:30 in the morning. So the loading on the first stop would be at 6:25 to 6:30. By 6:40, it will have to be at the second pickup point. That's bus number 1. Bus number 2 will start at Murphy Store in Peñitas. That will be the first stop, and then it will proceed to Stripe Store on 492 and Highway 83. It will be the second stop, and from there on, it will go ahead and start delivering students to each designated elementary. Bus number 3 will start at La Victoria Store on Loop 374 and Green Road. That will be the first pickup point, and then it will go to the store by Escandon, Beep Store, and once again, start delivering from there. The fourth bus only has one pickup point, which is at Freedom Life Church. And the reason we did that is because there's a high number of transfer students in that area, and we don't want to put too many students or have too many pickup points based on the transfers that we have been able to see from that area. The fifth bus will start at Stripe Store on 3 Mile Line in La Joma. It will proceed to La Reinera Bakery along 3 Mile Line as well, and West Goodwin, and from there on, it will start delivering students. Bus number 6 would only have one pickup point. If you look at the map, that's pickup point number 10, Vasquez Store. And once it picks up the kids, it will do the deliveries. Bus number 7 will have 2 pickup points along 107, traveling eastbound from Los Pinos Hardware to Stripes on 7 Mile Line in Dauphin, and then start heading either to Zapata or heading south. Okay? The last bus would also have one pickup point, and it will start at 7 Mile Line and La Joma Road. And the same thing would apply for the middle schools, but we will have to use different buses that complete a regular elementary route in order to avoid delays. Because even like this, we might have some delays, but we're ready to modify the plan based on the need and once we know how many students are being transferred from one designated campus to another. Any questions, ladies and gentlemen of the board?
I just want to say that having this plan with the designated stops will ensure that a parent who lives anywhere in our community really will have a choice to send their child to any school in our district, that we will provide that transportation for our schools of choice.
Yes, ma'am. Every effort will be made to serve their needs.
Thank you, Mr.
Any
Gonzalez.
questions?
Oh, just thank you. This is very good. Thank
It
you.
was team effort.
Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez.
Move,
Because they're a work in progress.
moving on to item number 6, public comments. Is there any public comments? There's no public comments at this time. Moving on to item number 7, consent agenda.
So move.
I have a motion by Mr. Garza.
We don't have.
Oh, we don't have-
Do we have to go individually?
Okay, moving on to
Yeah.
item number 8, under contracts, approval of interlocal cooperation agreement of tax assessment and collections between County of Hidalgo, Office of Tax Assessor, Collector, and La Joya ISD.
No move.
I have a motion by Mr. Salinas, a second by Mr. Ochoa. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to item number 2, contracts between La Joya ISD and the Advancement via Individual Determination Center.
So move.
No second.
I have a motion by Mr. Garza, second by Mr. Ochoa. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Next item under contract, number 3, agreement between La Joya Independent School District and ACT Inc.
So move.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Salinas, a second by Mr. Garza. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 4, agreement between La Joya ISD and ACT Inc.
So move.
Motion by Mr. Garza, second by Mr. Salinas. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to under bids, item number 1, renewal of excess workers' compensation insurance, TSP, number 2018-80. I need a motion.
So move.
I'll second, Mr. Garza.
Motion by Mr. Garza, second by Mr. Salinas. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 2, marquee signage related supplies and services, RFP 2019-60.
Also move.
Motion by Mr. Salinas.
Second.
Second by Ms.
Cantu?
Cantu. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 3, photography and videography supplies and equipment processing, RFP 2019-65.
I'll second, Mr.
I have a motion by Ms. Ochoa, second by Mr. Salinas. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 4, award and incentives, RFP 2019-63.
So moved.
Motion by Mr.
I'll
Garza,
second.
second by Mr. Salinas. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 5, decorative stationery, RFP 2019-62.
So move.
I'll second, Mr.
Motion by Ms. Cantu, second by Mr. Salinas. All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 6, books RFP 2019-61.
So
So
moved.
moved.
Motion by Mr. Garza, second by Mr. Salinas. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 7, nurses, supplies, and equipment RFP 2019-68.
Also moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Salinas, second by Ms. Cantu. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 8, agreement and standby ambulance services for 2019-2020 school year.
Also moved.
A motion by Mr. Salinas, a second by Ms. Ochoa. All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion carries. Moving on, next item under business and finance, item number 1, application for payment of contractor's fee. Number 3 for La Joya ISD Irene Garcia Middle School HVAC renovation project.
So moved. Second.
A motion by Ms. Ochoa, second by Mr. Garza. All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to item number 2, application and certification for payment of contractor's fee for fees number 5 for La Joya ISD Storage Facility, electrical upgrade project.
Also moved.
Motion by Mr. Salinas, a second by Ms. Hernandez. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 3, contingency allowance expenditure number 2 for La Joya ISD Irene Garcia Middle School HVAC renovations project.
Also moved. I'll second.
Motion by Ms. Cantu, a second by Mr. Salinas. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 4, 2018 excess debt collections.
So moved.
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Garza, second by Mr. Salinas. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 5, 2019 anticipated collection rate.
Motion to approve.
A motion by Mr. Garza, second by Ms. Ochoa. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 6, designate Paul Villarreal Jr., Hidalgo County Tax Assessor Collector as a person to calculate the effective and rollback tax rate.
So moved.
Second.
A motion by Mr. Salinas, second by Ms. Cantu. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Number 7, change to prescription formulary at district clinic.
Mr. Vice President, Dr. Science, is this not given the option to our employees to go for the name brand? Or, because I know that, I'm gonna use my dad as an example. The generic sometimes never, I mean, he doesn't work normal for the school, but it's only the name brand that actually work for him and has complications. Generic.
If an employee goes to the clinic and they request the name brand, they will be dispensed the name brand, but it will be processed through the regular insurance plan. So yes,
But they have the option.
they would have the option.
Also moved.
I have a motion by Mr. Salinas, second by Mr. Garza. All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 8, approval of change of medical plan document for the plan year effective September 1st, 2019.
So moved.
I have a motion by Mr. Salinas, a second by Mr. Ochoa. All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 9, approval of increase to medical plan premiums effective January 1st, 2020.
I'm gonna motion to not approve that. I myself got calls from employees since I've been here in 2012. I have never heard and we have never approved an increase on our employees, not to my knowledge. I don't-
Second that, and I second that. I totally am very
Is
pro.
there maybe some feedback that you can give us on that, Mr. Trevino? Why is it that we're wanting to charge our employees? And I know that, I mean, perfect example was what Dr. Trevino was talking about. I mean, we're trying to save here and there, but this is having to go against.
Is currently or will be? Is currently or will be?
Are there other avenues that we can do? I mean, besides charging our employees, like your department, look really deeper and see what are some other avenues that we can do and not hurt the pocketbook of our employees?
What's the estimated amount for the option 7 savings? What's the estimated amount for the option 7 savings?
Okay, so, I'm just wanting for us to revisit this and look at it, because at the end of the day, we have some employees that cannot afford $40 paycheck, some it's gonna be equivalent to $600-700 at the end of the year. We can just look at that, so my motion is with reading with that. I don't know if legal has anything to add. We good with that? My
Good night.
motion is just to not approve it, in regards to the
Deny it.
premiums, but then there were other, I think Mr. Choa had also something you had asked for to look at.
Well, right now I have a motion to deny the increase to medical plan premiums effective January 1st, 2020. I have a
That's my
motion by
motion.
Mr. Salinas, a
And I
second
think
by
she
Mr.
seconded.
Ochoa,
I'll second that.
and a second by Ms. Ochoa. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 10, resolution number 2019-05 for endorsement for TASB Board of Directors for Region 1, Position B.
I don't think we have any names.
Do we have any names? Dr.?
Do we want to continue to endorse Yolanda Cuellar, who's the person that's currently in the position? Or we can nominate Philip Cohen or Oscar Riojas.
I need a motion.
I guess,
So we need a motion to either keep her or nominate one of the other two. Philip Cohen from Brownsville ISD or Oscar Riojas from Mercedes ISD.
They're on page 70.
The next page has the names for Region 1, Position B.
Do I want to nominate anybody else, or we just move on with
I don't
our?
know if
With-
the rest is not a motion for, say.
To stay with
Ms. Cuellar.
with Yolanda
Okay,
Cuellar.
my motion to continue with Ms. Cuellar.
Ms.
Yolanda
Cuellar, I have a motion. I need a second.
Second.
I second by Mr. Garza. All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion carries. Next item, instruction and student services, item number 1. I have extended student travel for the
So
boys.
moved.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Mr. Garza, second by Mr. Salinas. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 2, approval of the optional flexible school day program that was just presented to us right now.
Yes.
I'll
Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Ochoa, second by Mr. Garza. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number D, human resources. Item number 1, action on teacher attendance incentive protocol.
So moved.
I'll
I
second
have
Ms.
a,
Cantu.
I have a motion by Ms. Cantu, a second by Mr. Salinas. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Request approval for 5 teachers for La Jolla ISD Community Development Institute Migrant Seasonal Head Start Program Partnership.
Also move.
Motion by Mr. Salinas, second by Mr. Ochoa. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 3, 2019-2020 Administrative Guidelines, Employee Compensation Plan and Stipends.
So move.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Salinas, a second by Ms. Cantu. All those in favor?
Really quick. This has nothing to do with our new salaries yet, right? We're
No,
working on
this
those
is
numbers.
current stipends that we pay.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Yes.
I had a
Yes.
motion by Ms. Cantu, a second by Mr. Salinas. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 4, 2019-2020 additional new and reclassified positions.
So move.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Salinas, a second by Mr. Garza. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. It's 6:35 PM, and we're going into executive session under executive session under Texas Government Code 551.071, 551.072, 551.774, 555.0821 at exactly 6:35.
Thank you, Mr. Cantu.
At this time, we are out of executive session. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. And it is 8:04.
Madam President, under letter H personnel items 1, 2, and 3, motion for approval as discussed in executive session.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Salinas to approve items 1, 2, and 3 as discussed in executive session. A second by Mr. Cantu. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Madam President, on item number 4, I would like to motion to uphold the level 2 decision on the grievance.
I have a motion by Mr. Salinas to uphold the level 2 decision.
Second.
I have a second by Mr. Cantu. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
And Madam President, last but not least, items 5 through 12 as discussed in executive.
So I have a motion by Mr. Salinas to approve items 5 through 12 as discussed in executive session.
Second.
A second by Mr. Cantu. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. So do I have,
Also move on the,
I have a motion by Mr. Salinas,
Second.
second by Mr. Cantu, to adjourn this meeting. All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion carries, and it is 8:05 PM. Meeting is adjourned.